Well, Sam, thanks for joining us to set up this new season. I mean, we're 2 months into the real season now. How big a leap psychologically is it for a bowler going from red ball into white ball?
Yeah, pretty different, to be fair. I think obviously there's times in T20 where you obviously you're always trying to get a wicket as a bowler, but there's times where you've got to probably think, how am I saving runs more than taking wickets at times? And yeah, it's a very different sort of tactical sort of game to deal with. Obviously in red ball cricket you've probably got more time to set a batsman up and to sort of get into your spell. In T20 you just don't have that time. You've got to be on it from ball one and obviously thinking on your feet very quickly. So yeah, it's a very different mindset to a red ball game, but one that I enjoy and relish nonetheless.
It's one that you seem to have got used to over the last 3, maybe 4 years. You certainly seem to have got your technique sorted in terms of what you need to do strategically in the T20. You must feel a lot more confident now.
Yeah, I think the big thing I've said for a while is there's nothing really that can prepare you for first team sort of blast cricket. It's obviously extremely intense, playing against unbelievable players day in, day out, week in, week out. And no matter how much sort of academy second team cricket you can play, it doesn't really sort of prepare you like playing in the blast does. So the more you play in the blast, the better sort of equipped you become for it, which is obviously inevitable with experience. I think you learn more about yourself as a bowler and obviously the players you're playing against. So experience is invaluable, I think, in this competition. Obviously, I think in our team we've obviously got a good blend of youth and experience. I think the likes of us who have played a bit more T20 cricket now have to draw on those experiences a lot.
And you're able to call on the advice, I suppose, of people like Daniel Sams coming into the mix. What have you learnt from our Australian import?
Yeah, loads. Obviously, he's played T20 cricket all around the world. Obviously, played at the IPL, Big Bash, all the sort of the big leagues, and on the international stage as well. So he's brought insight and different sort of tactics and different ideas. And I think whenever you have an overseas player come in, it's sort of foolish of you not to try and tap into their experiences. So we've chatted a lot, obviously, about trying to swing the new ball, how we get that ball moving off the straight. That's a way in which we feel that we can have one over on the opening bats in the power play, because at times it can be a pretty one-sided affair, bowling versus bat in the power play. So yeah, obviously he brings a wealth of experience and is a really valuable member of this team, and looking forward to having him back again this year.
And the death ball, the slower ball, that you seem to have found a few different options with that. I guess when you're playing in the 100 and stuff, as you did so successfully last season, that sort of experience and practice in those scenarios is invaluable when you're taking it forward now.
Usually I think you can have 100 different slower balls, but if you don't practice them enough and you don't know when to use them, I think for me that's the key. A lot of it is timing. You can have as many different skills and as many different deliveries as you want, but if you don't know when to implement them and you're not confident enough to execute that skill, the batters even are just too good now. You can't get away with it, and even at times you do execute that still and you still get out of the park. So I think it's about being at peace with yourself as a bowler and understanding that there's times where you are going to go for boundaries and you are going to get hit, but there's ways in which you can do it, and understanding where you're more likely to pick up the wickets and make it as hard for a batter as you can. So for me, obviously the slower balls have been a big addition to my sort of weaponry, and I think for me probably the experience, as I said earlier, feeds into learning when to bowl those different balls and the timing and the sequencing of your over, and that's probably the biggest thing that I've learned sort of progressing through playing more T20 cricket and in the 100 as well.
You say being at peace with yourself. I'm sure from the bowling perspective, that mental resilience is absolutely critical, because you know it's going to happen. You're going to go for boundaries, for maximums, whatever it is, and it's therefore being able to bounce back. You've been around the Eagles setup now for a while. Chelmsford boy, of course you are. Do you see that mental resilience coming through the group now because of what you've achieved, what you haven't achieved, and an awareness of what is possible?
Definitely. I think as you say, sort of the resilience and the mental side of it, I think you only have to look at the likes of the IPL and sort of international T20 cricket. The best bowlers in the world go for 50 at times in T20 cricket. It's not making them a bad bowler, and they shouldn't ever be judged by one game where you go for a few. And I think that's one thing that we're all starting to learn now and to understand how much the game has changed. Even when I started playing T20 cricket, what was perceived to be a good day out with the ball now, is completely different to what it is now. So
it's a changing world.
Exactly, the game is changing so quickly, and almost understanding, especially at Chelmsford, like you say, that you've got to have resilience as a bowler, because it is an extremely high-scoring ground in T20 cricket, and the South Group in general. We have a lot smaller grounds than the North Group, so your sort of expectations as a bowler, you probably do get a little bit more wiggle room. But I think as a group, in terms of our resilience, I think again it boils down to that experience. We've got a group now. We've probably, since sort of 2018-19, we've gone through a bit of a transition, obviously losing sort of some more experienced players as younger guys like myself who have sort of had to come into it and learn pretty quickly. And now I feel like we saw sort of last year sort of glimpses of how talented and how good this team could be. I think it only will come from playing more cricket that we are going to start building up that resilience and sort of learning how to win more, which we did last year, and we really, I think, put some statement performances down. Like I said, how impressive this team could be, and I think like you say, Chelmsford, it sort of breeds that sort of resilience, and it's a tough place for away teams to come, and we want to make sure that that's continued this year, and it really becomes a fortress again.
And the evolution of the Eagles is continuing apace. I think there has, as you say, there has been frustration within the fans, obviously, because they want to see 2019 success again. But we are seeing and have seen glimpses of it. Now it's a matter of stitching it together, getting some momentum in this tournament, and then seeing where we go from there.
100%. I think if we're honest, in 2019 we probably weren't ready to win it as a team. I think we obviously got on a run, and like you can in this form of cricket, momentum is the key word. I think last year we certainly had that momentum. Obviously it was a shame to slip up in that one game against Lancashire, but I think what we did do is we didn't change our game plan at all. We kept playing with the same freedom, the same brand of cricket that we played all tournament that had done us so well. And I think the fans probably saw last year just how far we've come in a very short space of time as a team. And like I touched on earlier, some of those performances we put on, especially at home last year, were as good as you'll see from a T20 side. So looking around the dressing room, we've definitely got players now that can really compete and can really put us, and we know where we should be, and that's at finals day at the end of this tournament, and that's what our goal is going to be.
Dynamo's Cricket, it's countdown cricket, a brand new way for us to play this summer. To bowl, bat and field, to be confident and take our chances. And this is our game. Dynamo's Cricket, it's countdown cricket, a brand new way for us to play this summer. To bowl, bat and field, to be confident and take our chances. And always having fun. This is our game.
Good afternoon, everybody. If you're just joining us here at the Cloud County Ground, a very good afternoon to you. I hope you brought something warm to wear, because it's not quite the warm weather that we were hoping for, but it is dry and we are set to get things underway for the Essex Vitality Blast campaign for this year. Simon Harmon, Jack Taylor just been talking to our umpires Chris Watts and Mark Newell, getting sorted. Simon's got the coin. Jack's call. It's heads. It's a tail. Right. Simon Harmer, you've won the toss. Good start to the season.
Yeah, I don't win a lot of them, so nice to get one on the board, 1 out of 1. So hopefully we can do the same come the result tonight.
And what are you going to do?
We're going to have a bowl. It looks a little bit green and try and get the most out of the overhead conditions. So yeah, that's our thinking.
And team news for Essex today?
Michael Pepper's struggling with an injury, so Robin Das comes in for him. Benny Allison straight off a century and the twos is playing tonight. Feroz Cushy at the top of the order. I'm not going to name all 11, but...
No, we get the idea. It's been a long wait. We're the 18th county to get involved this season. It must have been a frustrating wait at times, wasn't it?
Yeah, it has been. We haven't played a game yet and we're not bottom of the table, which is surprising. So, yeah, looking forward to getting the comp underway. We made some good strides last season and hopefully we can build on that and start here with a home crowd under lights. You can't ask for much better.
Well, go well. Good to see you, Si. Jack, welcome back to the Cloud County Ground. As I say, the surprise is that we haven't got rain overhead, but the forecast is good. You must be flying from that result at Merchant Taylors yesterday, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Really nice to come out with the points, obviously starting with 2 losses, so hopefully we can build on that momentum today.
As I was talking to Grant earlier on, the form has been good despite the 2 losses. You must be fairly happy with momentum.
Yeah, absolutely. We're playing some good cricket. We've improved game on game. So, again, same again tonight. We need to go out there and do the business.
Right. You're going to be batting first. Thoughts on the track and thoughts on having to set? And when it's the 4th time you've batted first, so no surprise there.
No, there's not. I can't really win a toss at the moment. But, no, look, it looks a nice wicket. We'll take some confidence from setting a target yesterday and winning. So, be looking to do the same today.
Team news for you today?
We've got a couple of changes. Graham Van Buren's out and Matt Taylor's out, and in come James Bracey and Danny Lamb for his debut.
Yeah, Danny Lamb. Has he said hello to everybody yet? I think he's only just come down from Lancashire, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. But no, he's fitted in really nicely so far, and yeah, hopefully can go out and show everyone what we can do.
Well, great to see you, Jack. Go well this evening. Right, so Essex have won the toss. They are going to bowl first. Now, earlier on, I had the chance to catch up with one of the returning Essex players, who's now, of course, wearing the yellow Gloucestershire, Grant Rollifson, and one of our own, Matt Critchley, who has been named this month's, or I should say April's, Deveen's Player of the Match. Here's the 2 guys as I chatted to them earlier on.
2, 1.
Well, Matt Critchley, congratulations on Deveen's Player of the Month award for April. What a great start to the season it was for you.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, it's pretty nice to get the award, but yeah, start the season off well and hopefully can bring it through to these games now.
Does it translate from red ball to white ball? Can you feel a bit more confident because of the form you've shown?
I think so. I think you can look at it either way. If you're in a bit of a rut, it gives you a licence, but when you face a lot of balls and you're playing well, you obviously take the confidence through and you hopefully that comes into the change of format.
And you've got your eye, and that's obvious. I'm more interested actually in terms of the bowling, because, you know, as a leggy, as you well know, the rhythm is so critical, and if you've got that rhythm already in your armoury, that's going to play out through the course of the Vitality Blast.
Yeah, definitely. It just allows you to trust your skills a little bit more when you're feeling a good rhythm and you've got a few overs under your belt, and obviously we had last week with the warm-up games that we managed to get with the Ireland game being here. So yeah, no, feel confident with it, and obviously you want the rhythm as a leg spinner and just the bravery really, the small boundaries here. So
you've always been brave, Chris, no problems with that. At last, Essex get going in the T20. I mean, it must have been quite frustrating sitting and watching all 17 other counties get going, wasn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it lets you see how the tournament's kind of unfolding this year, if anyone's seen anything different, I suppose. But yeah, when you see the table and teams have played 3 games, 4th game tonight, and you've not got going yet, but it just means if we get on a roll, we've got probably less matches and less days, but if you can get the momentum, you just carry it through.
And Essex are renowned for slow starters and a good finish, so maybe that will play into our hands come the end of this campaign.
Yeah, hopefully. I think it gives you that little bit of thing to be chasing people all the time, that little extra motivation. Even though you're not behind because you're not played any games, you look and go, I want to get some points on the board, which hopefully we start with that tonight.
Well, congratulations on the Player of the Month award, and go do it in the Vitality Blast, will you?
Perfect, cheers, thank you. Cheers. Right.
Well, Grant, welcome back to the Cloud County Ground. How does it feel coming back here, not in Essex colours?
Mixed feelings, I suppose. Obviously, I really enjoyed my time here last summer, but new adventure now with Gloucester, but nice to be back.
The Essex fans will remember you very fondly for what you did in the 50 over comp last season, so there'll be some fairly helpful comments, I suspect, from the stands.
I doubt that. Obviously, the people here really love their cricket and obviously support Essex tooth and nail. So I'm sure there will be some banter out in the field.
T20 specialist now, is that fair to say? I mean, you've been playing a fair bit since the end of last season, haven't you? So do you feel tuned in, for want of a better word, into the blast format?
I suppose so. Yeah, I suppose a couple of my opportunities have come in T20 cricket, but obviously still very fond of the long format. Just trying to improve as a cricketer, I suppose, in all aspects of the game.
Now, you're in the yellow and black of Gloucestershire now. And how important was it to get that victory yesterday at Merchant Taylor's against Middlesex, as tight as it was?
Yeah, it came down to the last ball. Yeah, it was massive for us, I suppose, to get a bit of momentum, win away from home as well, which is quite big in this comp. And yeah, sort of just try and get the ball rolling a little bit.
I mean, it's not like you haven't had bad performances, because I think that Glamorgan game was close for a long time, wasn't it? So does there feel like there's a bit of momentum in the group?
Yes, definitely improving. With every game, we've gotten a little bit better. And I think in competitions like that, like this, it's obviously important. You can sort of time the competition with your performances really well at the back end of the comp. So that's our aim.
Now, I'm sure that all your gang, as well as the Essex boys, were well aware that we've only had 2 out of the 9 9 matches between these two that have got through without rain. It doesn't look like it's going to rain, but it does look like there's going to be a bit of cloud cover. How do you think that will affect the match, knowing what you know about this strip, this square?
Hopefully not too much. Looks like a good strip, so hopefully it'll still be a good scoring game. I suppose maybe the overheads will help with a little bit of swing up front in the power play. But I suppose it's T20 cricket. Eventually that wears off, and like I say, the strip looks pretty good, so hopefully it can be a good scoring game.
And I think in all 3 matches you've batted first, haven't you, so far? So does it matter in your mind what you do?
I don't think so. I mean, I suppose you can't really determine the toss, so whatever we do first, we're just going to have to do well.
Well, mate, it's really good to see you back
Likewise.
here. I'd say go well, but don't go too well, right?
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you.
With a chance to win 2 tickets to Essex.
game for the home side. What an occasion it is. They've been waiting long enough. Their opposition today, Gloucestershire, have played 3 matches and the home side is yet to get underway. So the crowd is very excited to see their favourites out there competing on a slightly colder day to what we have had in the last few weeks. It's been absolutely stunning here in the UK.
Orange ball decision from the Essex end. Number 11, the Essex captain, Simon Harmer. And he'll be bowling to number 20,